Hi, I'm Kathy Callahan-Brady, and this is Fitzy's in the Trenches series. And today I'm here with Kelly Ennis from Verve Partnership. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No, this is exciting for me. You have done so much for Fitzy. I can't tell you how much, not just Fitzy, for me. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
It's easy.
So I have to tell a story. I don't know if I told you this story or not. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think this is what makes you different and very unique too. So when we first started looking for an architect to design 118 North Market Street, I kept trying to explain that I wanted things a little bit different for the Innovation Center, and I wanted it to be, startup, emerging, life cycle, and I wanted it to be this whole life cycle of a business. And everyone kept saying, well, how many offices do you want? No, that's not the point. And I don't know if you remember this because it was so long ago, but I explained it to you and you started drawing. So the front of it, you want it like this, and you never once asked me how many offices I want. And that's what tells me very different about your business versus somebody else's business. So.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. I love that.
So tell us a little bit about your business and stuff. That's what we're here to talk about.
So the Verve Partnership is an interior design, interior architecture firm. One of our verticals is co-working, innovation, and incubation. And we design space for people who use it, but we design off their vision and we design off their business model. So that's why we will eventually get to a conversation about offices and amenities and the things that the tangible things that you need. But we want to know who you are and what makes you tick. Why is your organization different than every other incubator or every other co-working facility? Because if I don't know that, and then I can't distill that to our design team, what makes you different, then we're just designing for design's sake. And that's what we hope we share with our clients is that not everything's going to look the same, and nor should it. So.
And that makes a lot of sense. And I remember when I started looking for you, I started looking at all the different centers that you had actually designed. You were a hard woman to track down, too. You're way too busy. That's okay. So is this your first business? Or?
Yes, it is my first business.
And what inspired you to open this business?
So mediocrity and the status quo that was existing out there, if you will, challenging the status quo and challenging a mediocre mindset. I say I cut my teeth on the West Coast and in a really fantastic time in an economy with a really amazing firm. And excuse me, when I came back east, we weren't having those same conversations about vision, and we weren't having the same conversations about businesses and specifically what makes you tick. Whether it's you and your organization, Kathy, or a professional services industry, whether it's a multifamily mixed use, what are the things that make each individual organization tick and what makes them different? Those big picture conversations, I didn't see those happening because you spend the majority of your time indoors. Right? So if the indoors don't reflect who you are, your culture, your brand, and your business model, again, we're designing for design's sake. So those conversations weren't being had, and I missed the conversation. I didn't want to just be another, notch in a project management belt for a design firm. And while the firms that I worked for, I wanted to develop a place where we could work with. And that is why we started the Verve Partnership, to work with people, not for them.
Yeah, well, you make it look easy.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we know it's not as entrepreneurs and stuff, but you go above and beyond the call of duty for your clients. I mean, I can personally say that from Saturday and Sunday trips to IKEA and loading the car up, and then, do you remember the picture that was taken at the grand opening? We had made it. It'd been like a week doing those yes, and everything went absolutely perfect, and we were exhausted sitting there at the front. Yeah,
but gosh darn it, we looked good.
I know.
That was success.
Yeah, that is what success looks like. Nobody had any idea of all of the stuff that went into it, and how exhausted we were.
Yeah, that's okay though.
But that's just what makes me think that you're just so amazing in your business. But everybody thinks you just did it and it was easy and it was magical and you had absolutely no problems.
Right. Sure. And that's what we of course, want everybody to think, but it's just not the case.
Yeah. So tell us.
I was lucky enough to hear John from Rooster Bio and absolutely agree with him. Talent is hard, and when he was talking about finding talent here in Frederick, you're competing with much larger companies in hipper and cooler places, possibly. Like everybody wants to be in DC or New York, and we kind of live in this mid-Atlantic region where you need to be, like, you want to be in Frederick. You are here because you have a business and a family, and you're committed to the community. We want to find people who are equally as committed to the community as well, and that talent war is real.
Yeah.
It is hard.
I think a lot of times people don't realize how much you learn more as an individual if you're working for a smaller company versus a huge corporation.
Agreed.
Too, because in a huge corporation, this is your job and this is your silo and stay right here.
You're right, absolutely.
And a small company, I mean, even look at Fitzy. Everybody knows we're, the janitor to you name it to we change light bulbs.
Yep, absolutely. You wear many hats in a
Yes.
smaller firm. So I started in those massive firms, and I kind of think I've taken all the amazing things that I learned along the way into a boutique firm. So we wear many hats, we do many things, and I was taking the trash out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you do those things because that's the example you also want to set internally.
Exactly.
And that matters.
It definitely does. So what kind of advice could you leave for an entrepreneur? Because what I haven't told people is that you're on our board now, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you are chairman of our promotions and development team, helping us with our 15-year anniversary. That's so
Congratulations.
exciting.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to have some fun things to do there.
Yes, we are.
So thank you for that. And you advise a lot of our companies and stuff too. So if there was one thing that you could possibly leave with an entrepreneur or a startup, do this, don't do this, make sure you do something.
So I don't know if it's technically one thing, but so you've got the tangible and the intangible. Follow your heart and don't give up. So because it's that kind of commitment to yourself that will make you successful. So if I was driving out here and 8 million things went wrong this morning, and this couldn't be a more perfect time for that, but I am dealing with personal things. I have 2 children. I am managing 2 children. I am managing a household. I am managing a company. I am scheduling camp. I am scheduling meetings with clients. So you're doing you're juggling. You're juggling, and you're just hoping you're really not gonna you're not gonna miss a ball when there's 5 in the air, right? But as long as you follow your heart, you will be successful. Tangibly, I find living in the tech community, I've been involved peripherally in your community from the inception of the Verve partnership, actually even prior to the Verve partnership, spent a lot of time with entrepreneurs, and I found my people in the entrepreneurial world, in kind of the tech and the startup world in Baltimore. So, but what they don't tend to cater to are things outside that tech bubble. So while I was peripheral to startups and really learned a lot from them, just from an energy and a commitment and a drive, and oh my God, my company is going to succeed. On the professional, I was a startup. I'm just not a tech startup. Right. So I would say that I didn't have the same kinds of advisors and advice that you would typically find, which is why I'm so committed to your organization, because oftentimes people don't think about space or design. You have a vision and a mission for your business and for your brand and for your marketing, but there's no vision, mission, or preparing for real estate and design. And we spend 90% of our time indoors. Statistically speaking, it's probably a little lower, but that high percentage of our time indoors, there should be a space and design strategy that supports every single entrepreneur. So while I was really good at that piece for our company, I could have used help in building financial models, right? I'm a creative, I am a designer. I've learned to, analyze cash flow and AR, AP, but that's not something I came to the table with. So there's certain tangible things as an entrepreneur in a non-tech environment that I would love to see be accessible to more people kind of in my world. But that having those resources, I think the tangible resources of how do you really launch, because I quit my job and started in my basement, and then we moved to the dining room table, and then we moved to our first office, and there's the same path, but those advisors are along the way. I just didn't have access, close access to them. but that's what you're giving your entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and I'm here to help as part of that
Yeah.
journey.
I love that too. That we've got such great
Yeah.
advisors and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're one of them. So thank you very much, and thank you for coming. The great advice as always. I appreciate everything that you do. So thank you guys for watching In the Trenches with Fitzy. If you want to learn more, go to fitzy.org, and you'll see the rest of the interviews. Thanks.